Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. As always, welcome back to another News I Missed, where I go over news I missed. There's a lot this weekend. I know, my gosh, there's so much crazy news going on, can't believe it. As always, a free way to support the channel is by leaving a thumbs up or by leaving a comment or telling me what you had for breakfast or what you plan on having for breakfast or what you would like to have for breakfast. It all helps. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. There's a lot of news going on about what's going to be happening to the US economy over the next couple of years. And even more so in a very short time frame, even if you just factor in this year, it looks like things are going to be quite prosperous, quite good for Bitcoin. It says analysts at UBS Bank believe the unified government legislator will smooth, this is within the United States, of course, will smooth the path to more fiscal stimulus. According to an Axios report, President-elect Joe Biden is considering a two-pronged stimulus effort in the form of $2,000 checks for Americans and a tax and infrastructure spending package worth $3 trillion US dollars. The new fiscal stimulus is expected to boost inflation, weaken the US dollar, and bring more buyers for scarce assets such as Bitcoin and gold. This is definitely going to happen at this point. The major question mark in the sky is exactly how much this is going to affect the cryptocurrency space. For those of you who were not here, we saw before in the previous stimulus check of $1,200, Coinbase and many other crypto exchanges, but Coinbase mainly made it into the news because they're Coinbase. They saw a huge spike in the amount of people that same exact day who were buying exactly $1,200 worth of Bitcoin. I think the next check that's also coming is supposed to be $600, so we will definitely have news as to how much money is actually flowing into, because I know a lot of people who plan on buying Bitcoin with that check as well. So I think that's just going to be a very common trend that we're going to see. Keeping in mind, the richest people out there are not stopping their Bitcoin buying anytime soon. It's not like they're like, wait, guys, the stimulus check is coming. Let's let everyone else have a shot at it first. No. On top of that, there's already a $1 trillion stimulus bill check, whatever that was passed a couple of weeks ago. And now the rumors have been, and I think this is definitely going to happen. We're getting information about the next $3 trillion stimulus package. But there's not going to only be one. I mentioned this many other times before. We're not going to really get into it. There were a lot of people and still are a lot of people who are without jobs, who may be without homes, who may be in a precarious situation because of the effects of 19 and just the fact that the government didn't really do them. But however, this money is going to be printed and is going to be given out to people who are actually in need. The fact of the matter is that the world's economy, and more so, let's focus on the U.S. because the U.S. is the largest, I almost said company, pretty much, in the entire world. That's going to have a very strong effect on the value of the US dollar. Do not forget that they've been printing money for a very long time and it's not going to stop anytime soon. But now we're actually seeing it's no longer cracks in the wall is actually falling apart as we're looking at it. Here's the actual news from the Financial Times discussing the thing that we just spoke about. It says, blue sweep of Congress will add pressure to weak dollar, analysts say, without a doubt. I mean, it's just logical at this point. People need help, so they're going to receive the help. However, the help is going to come in the form of something that hasn't been helping the economy for the last 50 or so years, and the system is buckling. And let us not forget, this news that drove me crazy, and I expected was going to shoot us to new all-time highs for Bitcoin. Citibank announced, and so did JP Morgan, and so did many other banks, basically saying that Bitcoin's price, it says Citibank analyst seemingly predicts a Bitcoin price of $318,000 in this year. And the entire point being, without having to read through the article again, it would be the weakening of the US dollar. More money is going to be printed. more money will be pushed into the system. And also, we now know for a fact that the stock market is only being held up by funny money. If you kind of want to say that, we know and we've heard from the chairman of the Fed, this money is being used to push up markets to make them seem okay. At the same exact time, interest rates are zero or near zero. Which country? There was a country 4 days ago. I read it, but I didn't report on it. I don't remember what it was. There's some country. Is it Norway? I don't remember. There's a country that definitely has 0%, like zero, actual 0% interest rate. So when people are taking out loans, they pay no interest on it, but no one's even taking those loans because nobody wants to take out any form of debt right now. So as it stands, the news that we are constantly getting, and I'm seeing like slowly dripping into the cryptocurrency space, is that we are definitely going to see another stimulus package. I'm predicting 2 or 3 next year, and rather this year. I keep forgetting that we're actually in the new year. I just assume we're in the past. I'm expecting news like once this 3 trillion actually goes through. I'm expecting another one, if not a third one. I'm not even half joking. And the effect that's going to have on Bitcoin's price is going to be wonderful. But at the same exact time, it's a double, triple, quadruple edged sword, because the people who need this money are going to see the prices of their stuff in their supermarkets inflating, and it is what it is. This is why I hope that everyone is into Bitcoin. And without further ado, let's move on. Next up, as the price of gold plunged on Friday, CNBC's Jim Cramer said the rise of crypto may partially explain the sudden disinterest in the precious metal, a potential sign the mainstream has flipped the script on Bitcoin and for digital assets. And there's his tweet of him talking about it right there. The price of gold sold off more than $60 on Friday, hitting a low of $1,852. Still pretty high, but we've seen gold's price going down the last couple of weeks. Per ounce on the COMEX division of New York's Mercantile Exchange. Bitcoin, meanwhile, surged to a new all-time high above 41,000. I think Bitcoin hit 42,000 sometime over the last day or two. I can't keep up explicitly with every single coin or dollar or stuff like that, but I think we hit 42,000 while many other markets have been going down. Jim Cramer also recently being a recent Bitcoin convert. One of many people. Did you guys see? It was like a day or two ago. That guy, Chamath Palihapitiya, I'm going to get it one day, was on CNBC, and they were asking him, Bitcoin's doing pretty well. Bitcoin's at 37,000. Where do you think it's going? And he's like, it's going to go to 50,000, and then it's going to go to 100,000, and then it's going to go to 150,000. And the host of the show was like, wow, makes you wish you could have bought before. And Chamath basically goes, can you guys play the clip of 2012 where you all laughed at me when Bitcoin was $200? And the host kind of like, did one of those little kind of reactions. But it's fascinating to see all of this taking place. I know at some times it seems also a bit surreal. It says gold price drops over 4% for biggest one-day loss since November. Silver loses nearly 7% for the week. And I'll explain this very quickly, just in case anyone has not gotten it, or simply just not understand why this is taking place, because you might be new to the cryptocurrency sphere, community, if you will. Gold and silver are difficult to come by, and they are rare, but they are not finite, and every single year we keep finding more of them in the ground. As technology continues to advance, we continue to find more gold and silver, and it is estimated that within the next 20 to 30 years, our methods of being able to dig these metals out of the ground will be nothing like we could have ever imagined, and the supply of them will increase quite rapidly. We've also heard before, we know that these things are not, only on Earth. They are on other planets as well because of how the universe formed, what have you, so on and so forth. So we've had proposals of people even mining asteroids for gold and silver. That, of course, may take a long amount of time, but it still makes the fact that gold and silver are not as rare as people once believed that they were. We're simply able to get them from a rock or keep digging into the ground to figure all these to find more. Therefore, whatever. We had news for those of you who did not see this. It says JP Morgan says gold will suffer for years because of Bitcoin. JP Morgan was not the only bank to say this. There were multiple other banks who came forward last year and at the beginning of this year and a couple of weeks ago and yada yada, who basically were all saying the exact same thing. Companies and institutions have begun to sell off their gold to buy Bitcoin. I know people are like, oh, that's nonsense, but everyone within the cryptocurrency space knew that this was going to happen, and this has been spoken about since around 2011, 2012, 2013, that this was going to take place, and now it's finally happening. So I think people who haven't heard this news for the last 3 to 4 years, it may seem like a dream or a fantasy to them, but Bitcoin is far more finite than gold or silver or palladium. There's so few Bitcoin actually circulating around right now that it's impossible for everyone to have an entire one. We know the numbers, we know the yada yada, but people, it needs to be driven home. If we get news that every single week that 10,000 to 30,000 Bitcoin is being taken off the market, and that's the numbers that we know about, it's clear that Bitcoin, the point being, Bitcoin's finite. There's not a lot of it left. It's being purchased by very rich companies, and a lot of people and institutions are now realizing that the gains that they thought that they would be making with gold and silver are not going to be happening. There may be a rise, of course, yes, a rise in gold's price or silver's price as more money gets printed and pushed into the market through stimulus, what have you, but it's not going to even be remotely close to what Bitcoin does. Have you guys seen that meme? There's a meme of Peter Schiff going around where he's basically, it's him saying like Bitcoin is garbage, buy gold, and it shows I think Bitcoin's price at 200 and gold's price at 1700, and he's like buy gold, and it says Bitcoin's price at 20,000 and gold's price at 1700, and he's like buy gold, and the next one is like 200,000 Bitcoin and gold still at 1700. Gold's price is going to continue to drop. I don't know how to make that any clearer. If the banks are saying it, it's because they probably have realized that other people are selling off their gold, and they're also going to be selling off their own gold. Bitcoin is going to win against gold. It's just a matter of the day that pops into your head and you actually realize that this is what's taking place. Bitcoin will be the new reserve asset. Not sure how to make that any much clearer. Anyway, that's the gold, Bitcoin, Citibank, gold crashing news. Jim Cramer. And without further ado, let's moving on. This is all getting really weird news, and I don't know how to really take it anymore. Stuart Alderati, Ripple's general counsel, says the U.S. SEC has acknowledged XRP's use as a fuel for cross-border payments. The SEC's acknowledgement of XRP's utility and Ripple's cross-border payment product on-demand liquidity can be found in the government agency's recent lawsuit against the San Francisco company. It says, and I quote, ODL, on-demand liquidity, involves a transaction in which a monetary transmitter in a sender's jurisdiction converts fiat currency into XRP, transfers the XRP to a recipient's jurisdiction, and converts the XRP into the fiat currency of that locale. Typically, instead of holding XRP directly, money transmitters who make the ODL, or may use ODL, would rely on market makers and the senders and recipients' jurisdictions to trade in and out of XRP in about 90 seconds or less. In a recent tweet, Alderati refers to the segment as a key point to keep in mind going forward as Ripple prepares its case. Alderati says, is that Alderati? Yep. Alderati says the SEC's passage on XRP as a fuel for online payments positions the asset as a unique and innovative technology. I was shocked at how much actual XRP news that there's been over the last couple of days or weeks, but I think a lot of it is just simply tying together over the entire SEC thing. On top of that, in a recent interview, SEC Commissioner Hester Pierce said the SEC can do better on clarity of regulations, as enforcement should not be the only way to provide guidance. It should be noted that the hearing for the lawsuit for XRP is happening 22nd of February. Here's the thing right here. Can't play it. Copyright, yada, yada, yada. She said she couldn't really talk too much about the actual lawsuit itself because it's ongoing. She said in enforcement actions, it's often a unanimous vote, but it's sometimes not. Once that vote has been taken, the litigation moves forward. I think that's not only a problem with respect to digital assets as far as XRP being a security, it's actually a broader problem because we have this very open-ended category called an investment contract. There's so much weird news coming out of the SEC and the whole Ripple thing. We also had news yesterday that apparently Ripple tried to settle with the SEC, but I guess the SEC said no. I don't even know what's really happening right now, but I tried to compile as many things as possible into one video just so this wouldn't be sprinkled along the next couple of days. What's this one? Yeah, so here's the other part of it in here somewhere as well. Is the discussion that, for those of you who don't know, years ago, there was not really a discussion of if it is a security or not, because FinCEN had actually come forward. This is 2018. And basically the Financial Crimes Institutional Unit, whatever they're called, had basically come forward and said that XRP was a currency and not a security, which is like, cool, fine, wonderful. We don't have to worry about that actual conversation anymore. But apparently it's back. It's back with a vengeance. I can't get away from it. I'm honestly hoping that they just settle before the 22nd of February, because I'm afraid it's going to be a major portion of news within the cryptocurrency space. There's also news. So I forgot where it was. There's so many tabs open. Hold on. Wait for it. This is somewhere around here. It says Asia's retail FOMO could be behind XRP's rally despite SEC's lawsuit. So once again, a lot of people have been wondering, like, why is XRP constantly going up? I don't understand. The SEC is... I mentioned in other videos, other countries actually do like XRP a lot. There's no discussion in their countries if it is or is not a security. That's not even the thing that enters their mind, because their SEC gives them clarity the exact same day. If their the US SEC waits 7 years, not joke, wait 7 years to say that something is wrong or something is bad or you've been doing something that's illegal. In other countries, they do it the exact same day. You go to them, you fill out paperwork, and they go, oh, not a security. Bam. Cool. Wonderful. We've known for a long time that within Asia, they're absolutely obsessed with XRP. We've had this news since 2017, so that's probably a pretty good indication as to why the price has actually still been rising, because they're probably buying up a whole lot of it. We also had news before. India's largest bank joins RippleNet. We had news a couple years ago before that. This is just the final clarity, just so we can get this all out of the way, because I keep seeing people in the comment section like, prove it, bro. Prove that this is happening, bro. And I'm like, okay, well, fine, here it is. We also had news before that Ripple had partnered with every single bank within India, and the rumor and speculation was that all those banks were buying up tons of XRP. So it kind of makes a little bit of sense. If the price of XRP is dropping and then starts going up rapidly, maybe they're just being bought by the banks who've partnered with them. Maybe they were waiting for a cheaper price to get in. Maybe they knew the SEC lawsuit was going to be coming and they were just waiting for the perfect time to be able to buy the dip. Nobody knows. It says Japanese obsession with XRP explains Ripple's relocation interest. This is a couple months ago when Ripple was talking about that they were going to be leaving America. Oh, time frame. Look at that. Now it all makes sense. Oh, yeah, it does. A couple of months ago, Ripple said that they were considering leaving the United States. Time frame. This was probably around the same exact time that they were having discussions with the SEC and trying to settle with them. And the SEC was like, yeah, you're probably a security. And they were like, well, you know what? We're going to leave, bro. We're not going to be here anymore. Now everything. Okay. It took some time, but we got it. Yeah. It's believed that a portion of North America, but mainly Asia, was the cause of the rising tide for XRP's price in 2017. So once again, XRP is... It may not be the largest, but it is a worldwide currency, and it's not just used within one place. So that's how that goes down. But the entire SEC thing and global currency and FinCEN and we can do better, it's already draining me. It's completely unnecessary. No one really, honestly, like, I don't want to say cares. Of course, there are people who care, but it's like, we can get past this in a week. The idea that things in financial spaces or that so-and-so has to take years or years and years or even decades to kind of get the infrastructure right, just call them a security, charge them a fine, and let's move on so we don't have to deal with this news anymore. Because it's like the same exact thing that, wow. Remember the news that we were having, like an engine. Remember the news that we were having before with India. And it's going on for like 3.5 years now, where their government was like, we're going to ban it. We're not going to ban it. We're going to ban it. We're not going to ban it. You can't use that. You can use that. You can't use it. You can use it. And it was just kind of this back and forth. And it's like, if you're going to ban it, ban it. The market will dip. 3 weeks later, we'll all be over it. We'll kind of move on. And it's just like this drawing out. No one really cares about the regulations. At the moment, 99% of people in this space just care about making money. So, ba-da-ba-da. Anyway, that's all the Ripple news. I threw it all into one video. Here we go. Because it was just far too much to not have all in one simple spot. And let's moving on. And to finish things off, a major commercial bank in South Korea is entering the crypto business by allocating an equity investment in the Korea Digital Asset Trust, or KDAC. Shinhan Bank is looking to offer digital asset custody services. Wow, I'm so surprised. Another bank getting into the cryptocurrency space. I certainly did not see that one coming. According to iNews24, I tried opening up that tab, and the moment I did, my computer was like, unsecure, unsecure, unsecure. The bank announced the investment in the KDAC, a joint venture custody company founded by a local crypto exchange, Corbett. Blockchain firm Blocko, oh, that's clever, Blocko and crypto researcher Fair Square Lab. The Shinhan Bank spokesperson stated that their upcoming crypto-related services are suitable for an area that can make good use of banks, compliance capabilities, and custody experience. Wonderful. Banks know that they're on their way out, and they're looking for a desperate way to try and remain relevant, and it's probably going to work. If you see that the old system is going, what do? You get into the new system. You try and get into it before everybody else, and you offer the new thing that people want. So if the new thing that people want is Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies and custody services, because you know that you can easily scare people by saying, you shouldn't custody that yourself. It's very dangerous. What if you have a lot of money and you lose it? Give it to us. It's going to work on people, because fear is a very powerful thing, and this is how you get people to fall in line. How many more banks do we need to come forward to say that they're getting into cryptocurrencies, or they're going to be offering custody services, or that they're going to be allowing you to buy, sell, hold, and trade crypto? It's every single day. It's nonstop. So wonderful. This is another bank who's going to be offering the same exact thing that every other bank is going to be offering. Bada bing, bada boom. That's the South Korea bank news. That's going to do it for this video. I do hope you enjoyed this edition of News I Missed, where I go over news. I love saying that. I don't know why. I love saying the second part. I don't know what it is in my brain, but I think I sing it in my head as I say it. Where I go over news I missed. Anyway, yeah. The cryptocurrency market's all over the place. There's no real logic to a lot of the altcoins anymore. It's just complete up and down. But yeah. I do hope you all enjoyed. I do hope you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope that it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, thumbs upping, commenting, writing, screaming, or just still being here. Thank you all once again, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.